What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to do a speed villain AVX run. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to compare using Mystique in the rotation and not using her in another rotation. We'll do two separate runs to see which is going to put out the most damage. Now, this is not the best team for speed villain AVX. Actually, it would be Corvus, Bullseye, and Mystique, but I don't have my Bullseye transcended. So this is actually the best team for me. I want Zemo for that 50% increase of all attack to villain allies. And, you know, some people, they just use Corvus in their runs. Some people might mix it up. And it's really going to depend on the kind of obelisk you have and the builds that you have on your characters. So, you know, both of these characters are physical attacking characters. I do have 87% physical attack on my cards. And I do have a 20% physical attack proc. And my Mystique does have 47,000 physical attack with Zemo's leadership. She pretty much has all max attack stats for the most part. She has a bunch of Odin's blessings. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Odin's blessings. All of her skills are at 6. She has a fully awakened overdrive set. She has the CTP of rage. And this is something to keep in mind, that I am using a rage. You know, if you're using Corvus and you have a CTP of rage on him, then it would actually probably be better to have a CTP of insight on this girl. Because even if you're playing with Bullseye and Corvus, those are going to be your main damage dealers in AVX, and having a CTP of Insight on Mystique is actually going to be better. I know that kind of sucks to hear because Mystique's such a high DPS character, but in all reality, against Null and other characters, she's really become more of a support than anything. She doesn't do as good as what we would like her to do until she gets a new uniform, and I'm sure when she does, she'll end up being the freaking insane meta again, but you do want her on the team for the support passive that she has. That's very important for her and for your team. And Corvus here, my Corvus has 53,000 physical attack, and again, that's with Zemo's leadership, and he pretty much has all max stats. He does have mythic physical attack Urus, and I do have 4 Odin's blessings on him. I'm actually saving these other spots for some more Odin's blessings, and I'm probably going to end up slapping a CTP of rage on him because it's just going to be a lot easier to play him. All the skills are 6, and the reason it's going to be easier to play him is because when you're playing with a proc, a CTP of energy, or playing with a regular damage proc, you're going to find that because the silence, and this is during the silence season, that the silence is on the second skill. The silence skill isn't really in your rotation when you're using a regular proc. When you're playing with a regular proc, you're just going 5, 4, and you're letting the proc play out during the 4th skill. And having that silence on the second skill, whenever you cancel the Beast Roar, a lot of times what happens is the second skill will actually trigger the proc, which isn't good. And that's why what you're going to see today actually works out for me for AVX as far as getting the best score. Because I'm actually playing with a proc on my Corvus. Now, again, if I had a CTP of Rage on this guy, I would probably just use Corvus in my run, period, because he'd actually do more damage because I could throw in other skills. With a CTP of Rage, I believe it's 5, cancel into the 3, 2, and then 4, or 5, 3, 4, and then 2, something like that. But when you're playing with a regular damage proc, you're just going 5, 4, and letting the damage proc play out on the 4th skill. And he has a fully awakened overdrive set, and he does have just a regular CTP of energy. And I wanted to do this video because I wanted to show you guys this comparison. I mean, maybe you're in the same situation as me. A lot of people do have Mystique with a CTP of Rage, and maybe they don't have Bullseye, and maybe they just recently built up Corvus and using with a proc. And even if you are using Bullseye, maybe you're playing with a proc on Corvus. And so I can show you how to play with them using a proc. And then his uniform is at Mythic. If this thing ever loads, we're waiting forever. Yes, it takes a long, long time. Good Lord, this is ridiculous. Christ. Okay, so anyways, we have Sentinel for the first uniform option, then Thor, which is great. Then we got Red Hog. Then we have Jean Grey. And then we have Invisible Woman. Now, what I'm going to show you first is the amount of damage that a character does in one rotation, okay? So we'll do Mystique first, and I'll show you how much damage she does. And this is going to give you an idea as to why I get more damage using a certain rotation, at least on my account. So we'll switch to Mystique here. Oh, good. The proc triggered right where we wanted it, which is exactly awesome. Okay. Which is exactly awesome. Need to work on my English there. Okay. So that was 645 or 654,000 damage, right? 654,000 damage. Usually I get over 700,000. That was actually a bad one. Now let's see what Corvus does. And something about Corvus, whenever you are playing him in here, is a lot of times when you do the 5-4, the beast will jump away. See how he jumps away? And I only got 374,000. So this is one reason why, if I start out with Mystique, right, I'll get way more damage. In fact, I'll get almost double the damage and sometimes even double the damage. We'll try it again because sometimes the beast won't jump, but a lot of times you'll find that he jumps away from you and it really causes you to lose a lot of damage, man. This is not what you want when you're playing in an AVX. So in fact, it's not what you want when you're playing in any game mode. You want to do the most damage that you can. So we'll try it again. And by the way, this is a thing that can be very aggravating about Corvus. And you see, it did it again. The beast just jumps away. So he doesn't always do this. Sometimes the beast will be right in front of you. I mean, I could probably do this 20 million times before he actually just sits right in front of you. But you look at the damage, 281,000. So you can already see that if I start off with Mystique, because the beast isn't going to jump around, I'm going to be able to do the utmost damage to him. I can actually do a lot more damage. I'm actually gaining over 300,000 points at the initial start of the fight. Another thing about the rotation that I'm going to show you guys is because Mystique has a rage on her, I don't have to worry about timing a proc. And because Corvus has a proc on him, I have to use the second skill to silence the beast. A lot of times when you silence the beast, it sets off the proc. And if it sets off the proc, you're going to lose a lot of damage. So in the rotation that you're going to see, I'm actually, whenever it comes to silencing the beast, whenever the beast gets ready to roar, I'll go ahead and silence him with Corvus, and it might set off the proc. And whether it does or not, I go ahead and switch to Mystique and just do a bunch of damage. And man, I tried this a bunch of times, and it really seemed to work out for me. So I'll go ahead and bring up that run for you guys. Okay, so on the left side, we're just playing with Corvus, and on the right side, we're throwing Mystique in the rotation. You can see I'm using her at the very beginning, and I want you guys to look at the damage differences at the initial beginning of this fight. Now, actually on the left side with Corvus, the beast didn't jump away, so we was actually able to get quite a bit of damage. So we're actually ahead right now, right? On the left side, we're actually about 100,000 points ahead of the right side. So far with just Corvus, playing with that proc, we're actually doing better. But as you'll see later on the run, now you see that the right side's actually pulling ahead. There's always a lot of variables in these runs, you know, as to whether or not I actually land my proc where it belongs. But I did do these runs a multitude of times. I spent a lot of time recording both of these videos, doing these runs over and over and over, trying to get the best run that I could to make this as fair a comparison as I can. Now, something I want you all to notice is on the left side, I just now hit my second skill to silence the beast. And if you look at the top left-hand corner, you see the 5 there, that green icon, that's my proc setting off on my CTP of energy. And because that proc set off on my second skill, what I'm going to do on the left side is I'm going to go into my third skill. I don't want to use my 5-4. I don't want to lose any damage for that. But because I'm actually going into an extra rotation, I'm going into my 5-4, I'm actually losing damage. But on the right side, I'll cancel Beast Roar with the second skill from Corvus, and then I'll switch to Mystique. And because she's got a CTP of Rage, right, we're not going to miss out on any damage. So I want you to look at the damage comparisons afterwards, and you can already see that on the right side, we do have 2.2 million. We're already doing more damage. So let's see what happens here. I'm just going to go ahead and let Mystique finish her damage. We'll let her run through the full rotation. Yeah. Now I want you to look at that. So right now we got 2.6 million on the left, and we have 2.9 million on the right. You know, just a little less than 300,000 points difference, right? That's a pretty big difference in the amount of damage that we're actually doing. So that's why I'm doing it this way, at least with my team ups and the obelisks that I'm using on these characters. Again, if you just have a CTP of Rage and Corvus, you don't have to worry about that canceling the Beast Roar crap. You can go into your second skill, cancel the Beast Roar, and not worry about a proc. I'll probably end up switching Corvus to a CTP of Rage, especially now that we're getting 50% off on the unequipped cost of Obelisk. So I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. But I wanted to show you all a run of this little comparison. So here we go again. We're going to cancel the Beast Roar, right? And right now we got 3.7 million on the left side, and we have 4.1 million on the right. A pretty stark difference. And again, watch me use the second skill on the left side. Now, what I want you to notice is on the left side, you got all those mobs. Whenever you have mobs out, a lot of times you'll trigger your procs early. If you land hits anywhere, you're going to trigger your proc early. And that's another reason why using Mystique, at least for me, is working out better. So watch the left side. It'll probably trigger the proc during using the second skill. And there you see it. I hit the second skill and the proc actually triggered. So now I got to go into my third skill, go into another rotation afterwards, and go into my 5-4. Whereas on the right side, I'll just switch to Mystique. And I don't have to worry about it, and I can do a lot more damage. And we'll just pull a little further ahead as far as the amount of damage we're doing. I tried this over and over and over, and this is the outcome that I kept getting over and over and over. But I mean, if you are playing with a CTP of Rage, just do 5, Awaken skill, 5, third skill, and I think into the 4, and then go into the 2 afterwards. And then it'll be 5, 3, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 2. I mean, we're doing like about 600,000 more damage right now on the right side. It's a big stark difference in the amount of power that we're landing out here. This is crazy, right? And some of you, if you don't have a Rage on your Mystique, then obviously you're just going to keep Corvus in there the whole time. It's the thing about Speed Villain Day. I mean, there's quite a few little team ups that you can use. I mean, the optimal team up is going to be having Bullseye on the team and using his Awaken skill in the rotation, having a Rage, and Corvus having a Rage. We're about to see the final outcome of these runs. And so as you guys can see, let's let it play a little bit further. As you guys can see, we did 6.4 million on the left side, just using Corvus, using a CTP of energy. And on the right side, we got 6.8 million, actually almost near 6.9 million. So there's, a 400,000 or 500,000 damage difference between these runs. And again, I did these over and over and over. So if you're in a similar situation to me, maybe this is the way you'd want to play it. But if you are just using Bullseye and Corvus, then you're probably just going to want a CTP of Insight on Mystique, because again, she really is just becoming just a regular support for most players. But I mean, obviously, if you don't have Corvus and you don't have Bullseye, then you'd want to have a Rage on Mystique and just run with Mystique during the run and just use Zemo to silence the Beast Roar. So let me know what y'all think about this comparison. Let me know how you're all doing in ABX and the team ups that you're using. And I do stream on Twitch at Reset. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.